Let's first take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the layout of the console. We'll work our way left to right, seems like a logical place to start. All the way to the left of the board are the faders. On this Express console, the 24 faders here are submasters. Next over we have a grandmaster and a blackout key. Further to the right are two sets of identical playback faders, the AB and the CD fader pairs. This is where your cues will actually be played. There are independent go and hold and back and clear buttons for each set of faders. Moving over again, we have the keypad section of the console. Right in the middle is the numeric keypad. This is obviously where you have your 1 through 9, your numbers, but also your plus and your minus and your clear and your enter button. So this is where you'll spend a lot of time of your programming is in this section of the desk. Just to the left of the keypad are what we call the record target keypad. This is where you have your cue button and your sub button and of course the record button. To the right of the keypad are your action commands. So you have a full button, the release button, an and a through, things like that are over here in this keypad. Directly above the main keypads are a very important set of keys called soft keys. They're labeled S1 through S8. Those are the buttons that correspond to the context-sensitive soft keys that will show up on the display. Remember that those keys often contain functions that aren't necessarily represented by a hard key on the console, so soft keys are very, very important. Make sure you remember that they exist. Above that, a couple of important keys, the M1 and M1 through M3 and the M star. Those are your macro buttons. There are 3 dedicated for the first 3 macros and an M star to access the other macros in the console. We'll cover macros as well in the training, but just know that those keys are there. Next to the macro keys, to the left of the macro keys, are your display keys. This is what allows you to switch between the various displays on the console, whether it be from stage to blind or your setup display. To move around the displays, there are 4 arrow keys here, left, right, up, and down. That helps you to navigate some of the displays that are spreadsheet based or have a lot of numbers on them. And last but not least, all the way to the right is the trackpad. Express consoles have a trackpad for up and down instead of a wheel. The large square pad is what would take the place of a wheel. So by moving your finger up and down, you can increase or decrease the level that you've selected. To the left of that are the 2 smaller rectangular pads. They determine whether the main trackpad is in coarse mode or fine mode. You'll notice that the top small pad has a rougher texture to indicate coarse mode, and the bottom pad is a smoother texture to indicate fine mode. And that is the general layout of the Express console.